Good morning. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful June morning, June 20th. My goodness, hard to believe how fast time flies. As you get older, it seems to fly faster. Anyway, I wanted to jump online this morning and touch base on the topic of listening to your inner self. So, really, I'm coming from the place of your intuition. And I'm doing a lot of work right now with a spiritual psychologist and also with another coach. And a lot of the work that I am doing in both of those situations is related to really connecting to my inner self, but also being really true to that. Because oftentimes when I look back on the course of my life, I can see where I have chosen to not listen to myself and there's usually a price to be paid for that. I mean, it might not be a financial price, it might be a financial price, but there is some consequence to not being true to yourself. And even if that is simply a demeaning of your own value within. And I had an experience, so I'm really paying attention to my own ways of showing up around this and where I'm connecting to myself and where I'm choosing out of that and not berating myself or um, calling myself out, but just really noticing and what's behind those choices and why am I choosing to do that, push myself aside, push my inner trust away or not listen to it. And the other day I was in a public space that was a small room with several people in it. And there was someone in the room who was hacking all over the place. And I felt really uncomfortable because of COVID, of course, and seeing somebody next weekend that needs to not get sick because they have a compromised system. And also, myself, I'll be traveling outside of the country and I don't want to get sick. And even if it's just a cold, I don't know. But, um, like I actually consciously paid attention to the conversation I was having with myself. And because I felt uncomfortable with this person showing up the way they did, which is it's a public space. They're entitled to be in that space. I don't have any issue with that. The issue for me is where do I want to be and what's in my best interest without judgment, without anything, just really listening to that inner self and my own intuition around what is right for me. And so I left and I felt really good about leaving. Texted somebody who was there in that same space, said, I'm leaving, don't feel comfortable. Somebody's hacking all over the place. And I just don't want to be there for my own reasons. But it's just a small minor situation of really noticing where am I choosing out of what serves me. And my clients, the people I love, the people I work with all the time, often, we have these conversations like, what do you really want? What will serve you? And, we usually know, but what we don't pay attention to is what's holding us back. So, why is it that we're choosing to not stand in what's true for ourselves? Why are we um, making decisions that serve someone else more than ourselves. What's behind that? And really noticing the different parts of our personality that take over in those situations. Perhaps it's fear. I've been in relationships where somebody has, is a very dominant personality and they can get angry. And my part that doesn't like confrontation and doesn't want to push back will take over. That part of me will say, no, I'm just going to choose out. And that's okay. Absolutely okay, because there's lots of reasons why I might choose to do that. There's lots of reasons why people I work with might choose not to have a conversation with an employee or a supervisor of their own that they feel uncomfortable with. It's not about being right or wrong, but it's about really noticing what is behind not listening to what you know is true for you. And, through the practice of really paying attention and being able to settle what's going on inside the mind, like, there's 2 parts of me sometimes when there's conflict. Part of me is, like, managing, "You don't need to get into that. It's uncomfortable. Let's just stay over here. It's, don't rock the boat. Everything will be smooth." And I'm more comfortable. So that part of me is saying that. And then my, inner core self is saying, it's important for you to bring this into the room. It's important for you to share what's going on for you because that's what's going on for you. It might be a personal situation, might be a professional situation. It doesn't really matter. um, I will operate in accordance with whatever parts of me feel like they need to protect me, they need to shield me from something, or they need to take over. So there's all kinds of parts of our personality that show up, and they're usually connected to experiences we've had in our past life, or throughout our life, and they run the show at times that we're not aware of. And so that's the work that I do with my people is to, really help them connect with their inner core, um, and notice what's going on for them. Working with a young woman right now who's just super, super smart and really just overtaxed to the max. And, I can just feel her energy and her tension and her stress. And one thing I really admire about her is that she will say what is true for her at times. Not always, but at times, really, there's a real inner strength there around that part of her being. And where, like the rest of us, or like many of us, where she chooses to hold back and not stand in what's true for her is when she thinks that she might not get what she wants. And so it doesn't matter what environment we're in, that's often the case. Like, and it's true. It is true that we may not get what we want. And that can stop us from really being true to ourselves and listening to our intuition. And again, it's not about judging ourselves or judging other people. It's about really noticing, where am I? Like for me, when I don't listen to my intuition, I can look back over the course of my life and I can see the consequences to that. There's been financial consequences, there are relationship consequences, there are consequences around really where I can see I didn't value myself, and therefore I wasn't willing to say what was true for me. And it doesn't have to be said in a hard way. It can be said in a loving, caring, truthful manner with no emotion, but factual. And I can see those places in my life, and that's the gift of working with people who, are in the same place. My people are like me. They're smart, they're competent, they're capable, they're accomplished, and they still struggle with their own inner lack of self-confidence, or a belief that they lack self-confidence. And so much of the work is just standing in what's true for you and pushing through the doubt, because we all have doubt when we don't know where we're going or what the outcome will be. But one of the things that is true is that when we're willing to listen to ourselves and put in the space what is true for us. So, in this video today, I'm talking about listening to my own intuition. And when I'm willing to do that, no matter what the outcome is, I may not get what I want, or, maybe I think by putting in this space, there's something that I want from that. And that may not happen. Like the person that I'm talking to might be defensive. The person that I'm asking something for might say no. The person that I'm trying to build a relationship might not see what I'm seeing. All of those things are possible, but the gain, the absolute gain in myself and in my clients when they stand and be true to themselves and listen to their inner core and live from there, they build their own confidence tenfold. They start to believe in themselves 100%. The outcome of what they wanted initially, it really becomes irrelevant in many, many situations, because we go in as we're working together, they go in knowing the outcome is not guaranteed, never is in life. And they come out with, no matter what, that sense of, "I'm okay, and I feel really, really positive because I listened to myself and I was true to myself." And, people can dismiss that, but I'm telling you, most people that I work with and my own journey in life, It is about coming back to being true to yourself. We spend so much of our life being told not to be who we are. We spend so much of our life trying to be what other people are. And the bottom line is the sense of self, the sense of accomplishment, the sense of well-being, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, is connected to self-belief. It is not outside of ourselves. And that's the work that I do with people. And I'm really excited. I'm just finishing up this week my fourth enrollment for Illuminate, Unleash Your Inner Leadership Brilliance, and starting a new cohort in September. So, if this type of conversation appeals to you and you'd like to work on yourself in your leadership to really show up in the power that you are and the gift that you are to the world that you serve, then this might be something that you'd be interested in. And if so, then I invite you to connect with me. You can connect with me on Facebook, Heather Beaton Coaching, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And that's it for today. Talk to you soon. Monday. Have a great week.